Howdy y'all, I am Ice Gold, and today I wanted to talk about a poll that I put out on Thursday, and the poll in question reads, or I guess it's not really a poll, but it's more of a community post, but it reads, to anyone who's quested an Ice Wizard, how was your experience questing through Arc 1? And I got a good few responses there, and a lot of them kinda boiled down to similar stuff. There were a lot of people talking about how, like, Blizzard is a real game changer, but the one thing that I really wanted to touch on was pets, and how pets really impact the ice questing experience through Arc 1. I did actually have somebody come through my Discord recently asking if I had a Mountain Yeti, which is a very good ice PvE questing pet, gives an Iceblade and a Timberland Yeti, or whatever it is, Tundra Lord item card, which is 8 pips to do some pretty decent damage, but it's not in the kiosk and I don't have one, so kind of tragic. So I pointed them toward the Frosty Eye because it gives them another blade and it gives them a blizzard. Now, the consistent part about those two pets is that they give a blade, and I talked about this about a year ago. Nothing has really changed. The fact that ice gets our blade at level 38 makes no sense to me, and it's really a shame that that hasn't been changed. I've been, keeping tabs on the whole summer update that is coming out probably in like a week or two, something like that, and that hasn't been addressed in this update, so I figured I might as well just sort of throw one last video at the devs, hoping they can at least think about changing Iceblade for maybe in a future update, because a lot of the comments on my community post, they were all like, good pet, all this, and what I'm sure a lot of them mean is a pet that gives good damage stats and the blade card, because I mean, Ice not getting our blade until level 38 is just, I've already gone over how it's, like, weird as hell that that's a thing, but it's also, if memory serves, 20 levels after the next school gets their blade. I want to say Life gets Life Blade toward the end of Krokotopia. I'm not 100% on that, but I do think that there's at least one school that gets their blade like right toward the end of Croc, which is like level 18ish, something around there. So for Ice to get our blade 20 levels late is just sort of goofy. So there's a couple ways that I think we could tackle this, a couple ways I think the devs could tackle this rather, and the first of which is just getting rid of this card. Why does this still exist? Ice Armor is the spell that you get from the level 18 quest as an Ice Wizard, and yeah, 125 absorb per pip for yourself, that's just not great. And you saw this card, Frozen Armor, that like you saw this before this, so when I was scrolling. So Frozen Armor just being a straight up upgrade, and this actually got buffed, I'm realizing, because I think this used to be 115 absorb per pip, but now it's 125, and of course the 90% accuracy means that most ices trying to use this spell when they get it are like they might fizzle at least once, so there's that as well to think about. But Frozen Armor is just the absorb to go for as an ice. It's like you get this at level 55 from the Grizzleheim Winter Tusk quest, and it's just better because it's not limited to putting this on yourself. It's like you can put this on anybody, any of your allies, and it's 50 more value per pip. This is way better, and I actually got some mileage out of this against the Storm Titan before it got nerfed, so yeah, like this was actually helpful for me on release, whereas this would not have been. So very interesting that they keep that. But Iceblade, you can see level 38 goofy as all hell that that's a thing that exists. And I think that if Iceblade were to at least become the level 18 quest, if not the level 12 quest, the level 12 quest is the one that gives you Ice Prism, where you go and talk to Mindy Pixie Ground and all that. And Ice Prism is important, but yeah, it's either get this at level 12 or get this at level 18, and then like move Ice Prism over to where Freeze is right now. I think that would be better, just because stuns are completely useless right now. But yeah, I mean, definitely comment your thoughts. It's like, what do y'all think about the level that Ices get Iceblade at? And there's just so many opportunities for Ice to get Iceblade earlier on. And they are taken up by spells like Freeze, spells like Steel Ward, spells like, you know, Ice Armor, like I've been talking about. And I just wish that the devs would give that a little bit more thought and actually let us train Iceblade at maybe level 18 tops. I think that would be definitely the play, but I do also know that they would have to rework the quests for that, because the Ice Armor quest has you go into Croc, while the Ice Blade quest has you go into Mushu, and as a level 18, you probably aren't going to have access to Mushu, so that is also like completely understandable. I think this is the time for the devs to completely rework the quest, maybe retire the old ones, and like just add the new ones and polish those up, that sort of deal. Just make Iceblade easier to get at a lower level, because the first blade that Ice can actually access in our Wizard's journey is Elemental Blade at level 25. And yeah, that's one level before Blizzard, so for the first 25 levels that you're playing the game, you do not have any buffs outside of Ice Trap, and that's kind of goofy to me. It's like, there's so many situations where, you know, you might need Iceblade, and you actually get Frostbite, God rest its soul, in a couple weeks, but you eventually get this card, like toward the end of Croc, and it's useful at around that point. But you can't effectively buff it because you don't get any blades. You don't get Elemental Blade for another like 6-7 levels. You don't get Ice Blade for another 20 levels. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like that factor in just really hurts the Ice questing experience in the early game. And I think that, like, it's just time. Like, they maybe part of why they're hesitant is because they would have to rework those quests, but I mean, like, this fall they could do that. Like, they could just do that, and I'd cover that. I'd provide video coverage of that. I guess I'd have to make a new Ice Wizard, but I would do that just for the sole purpose of covering those quests. But then the other question becomes, what do we do about the level 38 spell that Ice would then get if Blade got moved down to 18? And you'd think, yeah, you know, like maybe we should just switch it with Ice Armor, but I want this spell gone entirely. I'm gonna be so for real. Either get this out of here entirely, or make Legion Shield the level 38 quest, and then put Ice Armor for level 35, and then just have Frozen Armor at level 55 be its direct upgrade. I think that is the way to go, personally, if you're not going to remove this card, because it is completely useless. But, you know, Legion Shield is the first Grizzleheim spell that Ice gets. It's pretty good. It works well in a team setting. But given Frozen Armor is the second one, it stands to reason that you could put this Legion Shield at level 38, so it's still in the same level range, I guess, but then you would have Ice Armor be the level 35 spell. So that way, Ice would just get both its absorb cards from the Grizzleheim spell quest line. I think that would be a fine way to tackle it. I think, I don't know who would take issue with that. I mean, maybe that's an idea the devs just need to hear. Maybe that's all that it is. And yeah, I mean, there's also other useless spells that Ice has right now just in its arsenal. I think we could do without freeze. I think that the little clear spell that the Rochambeau Wheel tutorial in Selenopolis shows you, like clear one blade for one pip for like a shield, like a 25 shield, something like that. I think that would be pretty cool to throw in there for like a level 4 spell for ice instead of freeze, because, you know, if you made it a chromatic shield, then you could teach new players about chromatic effects, and I think that would be really great. I think it would really help the first time user experience. The game has evolved so much over even just these last few years, and I think that, you know, teaching new players about, you know, chromatic effects, all that, I think that would be a good thing to do, and hopefully the devs see it the same way. I think I don't really think that the devs think having Iceblade at level 38 when everybody else gets it 20 plus levels earlier is a good idea. I think they want to do something about it, they just don't know how to go about it yet, and that's why, you know, it's taken Frostbite so long to get PvP banned, because they finally found a replacement in the summer update that's coming up. But yeah, I think just putting an Iceblade for the level 18 quest, and then moving Legion Shield to level 38 and off the Grizzleheim path, because there's no like lore for like Legion Shield being in the Grizzleheim quest, to the best of my knowledge. maybe one of these days I do the quest on Daphne if I haven't already, but ice armor being moved to level 35, and then just having the 2 Grizzleheim spell quests give absorbs. I think that's the play to make. And then, you know, you'd still have the Avalon spells, like Snowdrift and Cooldown. Neither of these are really great spells, but I don't know. It would be kind of nice to just have this, into I think Snowdrift is first, and then into Cooldown. I think it wouldn't be so bad, but I don't know. The main point of this is just to make Iceblade obtainable at a much lower level than it currently is, and that would greatly improve Ice's questing experience. So I think that's all from me. Just gonna look right back at the responses to the community post one more time. Yeah, because there were some people saying, you know, like Arc 2's questing experience for Ice was worse than Arc 1, and that probably will get its own video. But yeah, I'll probably put out a community post for that as well in the near future. But yeah, I mean, the people saying, like, Sayan says the fact you don't get Iceblade till level 38 has always annoyed me, and that's really just the crux of the argument. I think Ice should get their blade much earlier on than we currently do, and I have laid out so many ways for the devs to fix that, and it's just on them to take action at this point. So that's going to wrap up. Thank y'all for watching. I've been IceGold. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave like 50 comments for the algorithm. My Discord is down in the description if you want to chat with me some more, and I will see y'all later.